And we are live. Hey! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you are on this wonderful planet we call the planet Earth. My name is, of course, Desican Owl, and it's another Wednesday stream. What does that mean, Des? When I'm watching your stream, what does Wednesday mean? Well, Wednesday is the hump day, so, you know, you might expect some camels. But it also means that the stream is about you guys. If you're a new player to Star Citizen, or if you're thinking about backing, it's a chance for you to ask some questions to a backer that has been around for at least a year and a half now, has seen some pretty gnarly times in the community and Star Citizen as a whole, and survived until the other side. If you are a casual player of Star Citizen, if you haven't been back for a while, and you want to know what's coming up in the upcoming 3.0 patch, first off, where have you been hiding? Because there's a ton of information out there. The official Star Citizen YouTube channels, there is Reddit, there is Twitter, there is Facebook. If you don't know what 3.0 is by now, or at least some of what's coming in 3.0, get out there, get yourself out there, get researching, because it is phenomenal. Or if you are a backer that has been around for a long time and you just want to chat and shoot some breeze, by all means, I am more than happy to chew the cud with absolutely anybody. If you've got anything you want me to do, if you've got anything you really want to see, let me know. I'm quite happy to play fashion model. I mean, not physical me, nobody wants to see that, but no, my character's more than happy to go and try out a few suits. I've got the cash. It's all those Monday streams of ICC missions. I've got enough cash to be able to put on any suit you want me to. We can go to Grimhex and we can surprise some pirates who will go, oh, who is that? Or also you can choose any one of the ships that I've currently got. If you want to see me fly around in a Constellation Andromeda, you can. That's the current subscriber ship. Some reason I've got my RSI Aurora MR, that was my very first ship that I picked up. I don't quite know why that's there. I was looking at it recently in the buyback section, so it might be it's glitched and given it to me. I'm not entirely sure. Or because I've already got the Constellation as a loaner ship for the Carrack, then maybe it's giving me an Aurora MR sort of as a peace offering to avoid getting double Andromeda. You can see me fly around a Kruger P-52 Merlin, but that doesn't have a jump drive. And of course we've got our trusty Anvil Hornet F7C, which we're going to pick up whilst awaiting Bravo 07. And as we make our way to the airlock, I will do the usual introduction to my stream that says, let's leave everything nasty, every kind of human nastiness we can on this side of the airlock, okay? Once we're out that side of the airlock, it's all a lovely place to be. In fact, inside this part of the airlock is a lovely place to be as well. That means if you're watching me, if you are homophobic, misogynistic, fascist, Islamophobic, racist in any way, or just a bit of an asshat, you will get banned. And I'm not kidding, you will get banned. And what does that mean? Well, it might not be much skin off your teeth. You're only banned from one channel, but you're banned from mine, and you're going to get some giggles, hopefully, on my channel. So I encourage you to be nice to your fellow human beings, and that goes for me, that goes for people in the chat, it goes for anybody that joins me on stream today. We can all enjoy ourselves a little bit of time off, let some steam off. So swearing is okay, my bot won't ping you for swearing. But let's keep the nastiness out and keep our venting to an absolute minimum. Right, okay. Where am I going to go first? I'm thinking Yela, because Yela is fun. Yela is about to be a lot more fun come 3.0, I can tell you that much. Have you seen the pictures? In fact, for that matter, have you seen the pictures of Crusader? It is going to be fantastic. Gone are the days where... Oh, why is my... Ooh, interesting. Oh, because I've got the Z thing attached. There we go. Oh, come on. No, free look disabled. There we go. Free look was active. There are a few weird bugs with this. It is an alpha, so if you are new to the channel or if you're new to watching Star Citizen, bear that in mind. It does tend to go a bit janky. That is what it is. So yes, we're no longer going to be able to see this wonderful pockmarked surface of Yela. It's going to turn into an icy, inhospitable lump of rock. Giving some stats for 3.0, did you know that the number of citizens we currently have backing Star Citizen is roughly 1.5 million? Taking a look at Yela. Now, Yela is the moon of Crusader. Now, Crusader is a gas giant. Like Jupiter, I don't know the exact size of Yela, but it's a gas giant. So Yela is one of its moons. And as moons go, it's a pretty big one. But if you put every single citizen that has backed this game at equal points across Yela's surface, you would not be able to see any of them. So you wouldn't be able to see your closest neighbours in any direction. That's how big this game is. Everybody in the world who currently backs Star Citizen can stand on that moon and not see anybody else. I think that's pretty incredible. I don't know about you. Absolutely astonishing. I'm just looking forward in 3.0. I'm looking forward to landing on that thing. I really am. I'm looking over here because I've got a 21 by 9 aspect ratio screen. So that's why it looks kind of weird on Twitch for you 16 by 9s. I know that's the vast majority of you. I do apologise, but for those with 21 by 9s who look at a 16 by 9, they get the black bars on the top, on the sides, and then you'll get the black bars on the bottom. So on the bottom and the top. So bear with. I am currently saving up to buy myself Track IR so that when I move my head, I should be having a bit more of an interesting experience. But right now, I'm kind of stuck in my current position. Right, so what do we do in Yela? Well, Yela is a bit of an interesting place. Yela is home to the pirate base, Grimhex. And I make it a habit on my Wednesday streams of going around, and sometimes I like to go visit Grimhex, and that's usually with a group of people. So if interest is there, I can go back to Port Olisar, spawn my constellation, and we can get a group of people together. All hop on board the constellation, head over to Grimhex for a bit of a shopping trip. Usually spooks the hell out of every pirate player that's currently there as to wondering why there's a bunch of green names popping up amongst all their red or orange. But it's fun, it's half the fun. I must admit, I've been playing a bit too much No Man's Sky recently, so I'm starting to look around at all these asteroids and thinking, oh my gosh, these could be good and filled with Thamium-9. Actually, it's not just Thamium-9. I've been hunting my little ass off trying to find copper, and I just can't find it to save my life. I can't find it on planets that say they've got copper. I can't find them in asteroids that say they've got copper. I feed the indigenous life forms on the various planets, and they're supposed to give you copper. Nobody else does. Hey, Zion 976. I do apologise. Can I short your name to Zion? How's it going, buddy? What am I trying to say? I do this every stream. How's it going? Are you enjoying the stream? There we go. I'm going to put this down and then do that. Because I don't want to take my wing out. I do apologise. It's hot in here. Not hot to some people. I've complained about the heat in the past in the UK. It's 25 degrees Celsius here at the moment, which is nothing. I know that certain places get into the high 30s, high 40s. But even so, if you're a native to this island, it is brutally hot, especially when you're in an office. I can't have the windows open. The neighbours at the bottom of the garden, their kids are playing. And every time their kids play outside, it's inevitable that one of them's going to hit the other, or one of them's going to fall over, and it's going to end up in a crying session. And that gets picked up on stream, so I've had to shut the window, unfortunately. Which, considering my house is north-facing, that means that the sun hits it constantly. So this room will heat up, because I've got the curtains drawn as well, because I don't want to have the changing ambience in light. And I've got a big, heavy computer that's currently running very large amounts of calculations for Star Citizen. Whoops, I bumped into it. Oh, let's back up a little bit. So yeah, it's going to get hot. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water. I might be perspiring, so I do apologise. Right, so this is the first stop on our Yela trip. It's a Big Benny's noodle machine. It is currently sitting on top of a very large pylon. It goes all the way down to the asteroid surface and all the way up. And it just plays that theme song over and over and over and over again. That was a April Fool's joke 2016 was the Big Benny's Noodles song. If you saw the trailer for that, it was absolutely amazing. Anyway, so for those of you who are watching, where are you watching me from? Are you watching me from deepest, darkest England, or deepest, sunniest England, should I say? America? If you're watching me from America, how was Independence Day? Or should I say, separation from your true overlords day? I'm not bitter. No, it looked like everybody had fun. There was a lot of good stuff on Twitter I saw from various Star Citizen backers. So that was always fun to see. We'll get away from this Big Benny's noodles thing because it just does my head in. So, in addition to telling me where you're watching from, why don't you tell me how you're watching me? I know there's a couple of people that are going to be watching me on a phone or on a tablet in the office or at school. If you're watching me from one of those latter two, make sure your boss or your teacher doesn't spot me. Make sure you get good grades and do your work on time. Deadlines are important. Are you watching me on the train, on a plane? If you're watching me on a plane, impressive. You've got one of those Wi-Fi planes and the Wi-Fi doesn't suck for once. Right, I'm looking around here. I'm just floating lazily. I am supposed to be doing something, and I've completely forgotten for the life of me what I was supposed to be doing. Anybody got any ideas of what they want me to do? I'm completely open. Mondays, it's usually the ICC missions, but I'm quite happy to do the ICC missions again if you guys want to see those. If you've never seen all the way to the end before, I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, I'm looking for one of these dogfighting sections. Is that another Benny's Noodle thing over there? I think there is a big Benny's Noodle thing over there. So we'll go here. Speaking of, whilst we're drifting past, say goodbye to this lovely picture of Yela. It is going to go. It's going to be replaced. I do love Yela in its current form. I love it more in its landable form, but there's something very romantic about this big ball of rock. It kind of reminds me of the moon, and I've been a big space fan since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I've been a massive space fan. So much so that above my bed when I was about 5 or 6, I had a fold-out book. Now the book my parents had bought me for, I can't remember whether it was for Christmas or a birthday, but it was a book, and it folded out to about sort of yay high. And my father had knocked it against the wall because it was a full fold-out, pop-out space shuttle book. It was a papercraft space shuttle, but you could pop out all the bits. You could pull out Hubble Space Telescope from its cargo bay, and you could move the Canadian space arm across, and all sorts of other wonderful things. I know the Canadian space arm is on the ISS, but semantics. I could try and land on Yela if I really wanted to. Well, I say land. I get within a couple of kilometres of the upper surface, and then it complains about gravimetric anomalies, and my ship explodes. I mean, I can show it to you. We can drift straight up to it and see how far we get. It's kind of like going to Crusader over here. No, we can't see Crusader. Has it gone on our 6 o'clock? I would go F4 and go outside the ship, but I'm paranoid about hitting an asteroid. Now, usually that wouldn't be so much of a problem, but that's okay. Zion, buddy, you still there? Zion says hi and then leaves. It's like a panda. Have you ever heard that joke? Panda walks into a bar and stares long-faced at the menu. Barkeep doesn't know what to do. It's a panda, of course, so he's naturally perplexed by the whole situation. The panda then hands him a note that says he wants 1 cheeseburger. The barman shrugs and goes and gets him the cheeseburger. Comes back. Panda eats the cheeseburger. Then he pulls a 9mm out of God knows where pandas keep 9mm, fires it once into the air, pockets the gun again, and then walks out the bar. Another patron who sat in the bar turns to the barman and says, "What's that about? What's that about?" The barman shrugs, then pushes a dictionary over. Man picks up the dictionary, opens the page to Panda. Panda eats, shoots, and leaves. Wait for the dull thud. Drum and a pair of 2 drums and a cymbal fall down the Grand Canyon. There you go. Bit of an American humour. I can hear viewers leaving the channel now. Someone get Ben Lesnick on the phone. My puns are as bad as his. No, in all honesty, humour is good. Humour is good, especially in Star Citizen. Especially when you consider that we're going to be travelling for much longer than this in the actual persistent universe when it comes online. Sorry, I've got a bit of a stuffed nose as well. There's nothing worse than having a stuffed nose in the middle of summer. I remember it when I was having exams at school. Inevitably, within the first 5 minutes of the exam, because I wasn't legally allowed. I don't think you're legally allowed to buy decongestants here in the UK until you turn 16. But I either didn't have access to them or got into school late enough that I didn't have the opportunity to get access to a decongestant. And so inevitably 5 minutes into the exam, my nose would decrease, the size of the nasal cavities would decrease to about that. And I'd spend the entire exam trying not to sniff, which is quite frankly impossible. Yes, I am floating through this asteroid ring in decoupled mode. I am quite surprised that nothing has spawned to kill me. There we go. Gosh, that took a long time. What is it? Oh, it's a flying coffin. I just realised something. I haven't linked all my guns together. There we go. There we go, Mr. Aurora. I now have your full attention. And then swing, and then fire. Bring it around, slow it down, come here. Still trying to get the whole brain to connect with the hands thing. It does take a little bit of getting used to. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, the next challenge is to try and figure out which orientation the wreck was in. I always mess this bit up because I've been flying in a straight line, and so what was once easily seen is no longer easily seen, and I'm here looking like a numpty. Let's do the usual thing of popping out into third person view and cheatsy doodling our way to trying to find that wreck. He was definitely around here somewhere. Is it above me? I don't know, I can't see it. Oh dear, that's embarrassing. I've managed to successfully fight my way through one little tiny Aurora coffin. I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I've definitely... because I had Crusader on my right, but... oh, maybe... oh, I've turned around, haven't I? So, there you go. That was the orientation I was heading in originally. Although it seems a little bit... I don't know, let's... where can I go? Where can I go? I'm also missing the Big Benny's thing. Oh, there's the wreck. Oh no, that's the Big Benny's thing. So there's the Big Benny's thing. So all the reaction thrusters. I mean, it's a beautiful game. I love that screenshot. I might have to take that screenshot. Stand by, guys. There you go. Screenshots live in game. There you go, little jitter as it takes the picture. It's going to be a really low res shot, but that'll be the thumbnail for this video. I really need to start taking more thumbnails whilst on stream to reflect what goes on. Right guys, is there anything you want me to do? Anything at all? I am easy like Sunday morning. Bearing in mind a few things, I'm not very good at FPS combat, so don't expect any... oh, there's the wreck. Is it going to spawn another Aurora when I get close to it? Probably. Oh, I'm coupled again. So let's inch our way to it. We can try and see whether we can find anything to salvage in this wreck. We try and work out what was in it. Well, it looks... yeah, it's a ex-Starfarer. That's definitely the engine nacelles of a Starfarer, but what was it hauling? Let me guess. There's only one thing that Starfarers in this area of the galaxy haul. And if I'm right, it's something to do with the float, well, the attached and broadcasting sound that we're hearing. Yeah, it's definitely the upper portion of the fueling bay of the port side of a Starfarer. Poor thing got ripped to pieces. By what, I'm not entirely sure. But there we go, that's half the mystery. What do we got? Ooh, it's not hauling what I thought it was hauling. It's hauling, well, the cargo box here is a bearing assault rifle. But I've got my Devastator shotgun and arc sniper rifle, so I'm a happy chappy. I mean, look, I can shoot my Hornet. Go to Korea and sort of hang around there. Oh, I left my gear floating again. Another bug. Diddly 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 diddly. Oh, and it just rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates, repeats, repeats, and repeats. Water everywhere, and I really need a drink because it's hot in here. I'm not going to do that joke again. I've done it way too many times on stream. You guys are probably sick of it. Right, I think I have had enough of Yela. So I'm going to go... Actually, do I want to do that? Where's the nearest Comm-Array which has anything good on it? Ooh, yeah, 306 was available. There we go. Let's quickly hop our way over there and try and take it out. It might be being overtaken by somebody else, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. Worst case scenario, we have to spend most of our time dogfighting a pair of spawns, but here it comes, and it is a... The game is trying to give me flying coffins for some reason. Why? What's the point? What is the point? These are not challenging. Give me a saber, give me a gladius. I hate gladiuses. I say as much on every stream I do. Every stream I do, I'm always complaining about gladiuses. But you evidently aren't getting the message. And you're giving me auroras, which I just can't hit. As much as I complain about them being flying coffins, they are incredibly difficult to hit if you're not clever, and if you don't go close to them, they're incredibly difficult to hit. It's because of their small cross section, which will make them great stealth ships. I mean, admittedly, they're not going to be as good as, say, the Eclipse or the Hornet Ghost, which is specifically designed. But can you imagine that the small cross section of an Aurora combined with some stealth composites? Ooh, I'm lagging. I mean, that's a pretty lethal combination. For example, the engine is small enough that it won't generate much interference. All the electronics and avionics are small enough, they won't be creating much interference. You've got the recipe for a pretty decent single-seater stealth drop pod, almost, in the form of the Aurora. So don't write off the ship as anything other than... Well, it's not very good at combat, granted, but oh gosh, lagging again. Who's got the crappy ping? Because that is what that is. Now, is it going to say power on? Yeah. It went through... Star Citizen went through a period where the Comm-Arrays, if you weren't careful, some of them said power on, and some of them said power off. Even if the array was on offline, it would say power off, which would instantly net you a crime stat. Which is, as I've been going on for some time, I know notoriously difficult to clear. Because I'm not a very good FPS player, and inevitably that's where everyone goes for the PvP. Life goes on, I think. Speaking of life going on, the hotels in Frankfurt for CitizenCon is selling out like hotcakes. I'm not entirely sure whether that's just the Star Citizen lot or whether that's everyone else. There's 600 people going to CitizenCon, so it would make sense that a large number of the hotels in and around the various venues are going to be quite full. But I was not expecting that amount of interest in them. I mean, I got a really nice one, so I'm not complaining. It cost me a little bit more than I really wanted to pay, but yeah, for a con, that's what you kind of get. Tickets were reasonable, flights are dirt cheap. I'm going to have to go flying via Ryanair, so that's not too much of a problem. The only issue I have with Ryanair is, and for those of you that don't know, Ryanair is an Irish-based flight carrier. Well, Irish flight carrier. It's not Irish-based. It's Irish flight carrier that I used to fly with many years ago when I was working in an office block. I used to do regular commutes out to the Netherlands with them. It would always be a Sparrow far in the morning flight with a bunch of surly looking businessmen, because that's all their company's offices really wanted to pay was for, you know, a Ryanair flight. And the thing I hate most about Ryanair is how pretentious they are. You land in your destination, even if you're slightly late, they play this little annoying ditty on the fanfare over the intercom. Da, 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 da. Another Ryanair flight successfully landed on time. Did you know last year X number of our planes landed on time? It was like, well, you're supposed to do that. You're an airline. Don't quite know why you're self-high-fiving yourself every time. But oh gosh, it was so pretentious. But hey, it's 40 quid there and back. I'm not complaining much, but I'm complaining, but not much. So the major expense at the moment is the hotel. I'm already organising with a bunch of people from the UK Star Citizen community and from the wider community who's going to Star Citizen for a couple of meetups. We're all going to be at the Marriott Hotel on Thursday evening for drinks and a Bar Citizen, with hopefully some of the dev team. I know Brian Chambers and some of the Frankfurt dev team will be there, as well as people like Board Gamer and me and probably some of the bigger Twitch streamers as well. Probably Twerk17, DJ Knight. Bad News Baron. Haven't seen much about Bad News Baron at the moment. He was big news last year at Gamescom when they were doing the streams, but I haven't heard much of him since. Although his videos did help me when choosing my flight sticks. He has a Black Mamba flight stick joined up with a Thrustmaster 16000N, and he was discussing the finer points of how people with 16,000M Thrustmasters sometimes had trouble tracking targets because their springs on the bottom of their HOTAS system, are very highly strung. So you end up, as you're bringing the stick back to center, it will flip back into the center, and you have to really work at it to get it the other way. And so people were strafing or rolling right, and by the time they got back to the center again, they went through this period where they went gunk and then started tracking the other way, which you can see here. It's a smooth experience for me. I can very easily track my target using this. I'm using an X56 loadout, and I've got the least tension spring you can find in the pack. I am considering asking, there's a custom group out there that make their own, whether I can buy one of their really low tension springs. In fact, it's so loose that it can fall over if you're not careful. So just to give me that slightly more competitive edge, because I am still struggling to try and connect all the different things. It's like driving a car. When I was starting to learn to drive a car, it was accelerator, throttle, brake, clutch, throttle, brake, clutch, and handbrake, indicators, everything added together. It just became so confusing. Yay! Finally, a fun target. Well, I say fun. It's ooh. Oh, you're firing at me from there. You're not going to hit me. I'm too incognitus. Because it's fun, dude. That's why we fight back. Get that cross section. Up. Now, the number of Comm-Arrays is starting to decrease, so that means that the likelihood of other players coming in to attack, well, try and clear the Comm-Array increases, so I need to watch my back just in case it spawns. Because not everyone else is like me, and not everyone is nice in terms of what they do when they discover someone who's already taken over a Comm-Array. Because my idea is that when you take over take on a Comm-Array, if you're the first person there, fantastic, you get the dibs. If I jump into an array that you're contesting, and it spawns the other mobs, then it is my duty to help you out, because you're not going to be able to take on 3 ads by yourself, especially if you're a new player. And not very many people have invested much in the peripherals for this game yet. It is an alpha, and I understand that. So I know some pretty decent mouse and keyboard players, but the majority of people I know that really struggle when they're a new player with mouse and keyboard, when they're taking on more than 1 or 2 ships. It's because you've got that digital input. You can't slew effectively. You can't strafe randomly. It's either you've got your thrusters full on, or you got your thrusters off completely. So if I jump into a Comm-Array that you're contesting, I will help you out. But some people jump into the Comm-Array, then jump out. Now the ads do reflect the number of players in the zone at any one time. So those extra 2 mobs that will spawn, extra 2 ads that spawn, will despawn, but sometimes the server lags and doesn't despawn them straight away. So you can be conceivably 30-45 seconds up against your original ad, let's say an Aurora, and then a Sabre, a Gladius or Cutlass at the same time, because it not only adds extra ads, it amps the difficulty. And a new player, an Aurora, who's trying out the Comm-Arrays for the first time, who's going up toe-to-toe against another Aurora, thinking, yes, this is their moment, is going to get destroyed within seconds. And that's not what we'd like for new players to experience. It's not fun playing Star Citizen if you're just going to lose all the time. Number of threads I've seen on Reddit of people saying the flight mechanics in this game are incredibly hard, or the learning curve is steep. And yes, it is ridiculously steep, but anything that we can do as long-term players to help them is amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm against this attacking people for no reason when you're a pirate. Because the mechanics aren't in there to protect other players. The crime stat is something that you can easily get rid of. It's not a hindrance, it's just an annoyance. And so there are people that are trying to do their ICC missions, and they've got trolls that sit on the ICC pad, wait for someone to jump into the instance to start the mission, and then just blow them out of the sky. And I've seen accusations levelled at people like the Ewins guys. Whether all of them are without Foundry, I'm not entirely sure, but I know the guy who runs them, a guy called Pathogen. He's really nice. I like him a lot. He's a fellow streamer. He will always ask somebody. 9 times out of 10, he will always ask someone if they want to fight. He's not the kind of guy that will randomly attack someone for no reason. So if you're a new player and you get an offer to fight, you can say no. You don't have to take them on. These guys are flying ships that are specifically built for PvP. So they've got high damage weapons that will find their target really quickly. And I know, feeding back into the Monday stream, when we were talking about the stuff that Renegade Squadron do, the crime stat, or the crime stats, the gun stats. I've seen seen builds from people that it's 1,500 damage. I remember there's a famous one on Twitter about half a year ago, which was a 15,000 damage per second Aurora. Sorry, not Aurora. So fighting an Aurora, my brain's going, ooh, Aurora. 15,000 damage per second Hornet F7C build, which was 3 Mantis miniguns, Carnard 2 wings, and an M4 or M6A size 4 laser rifle on the flashfire puck on the central column. And yeah, it's good, but you lose the abilities, stuff like the mono pips that I was talking about, the uni pips. You lose that overall damage per second because you got that spool up time for the Mantis guns. So these guys are flying with Tarantula GT870s, which will rip through most shields, because ballistic weapons ignore a portion of the shielding. they'll go straight through and puncture the armor. And when you think about it, most ships, certainly the earlier models, are reliant to a degree on their shielding over their armor to protect them. And if you've got bullets that are going straight through, or rounds that are going straight through the shield and into the armor, those little ships aren't going to last long. I know that the Hornet F7C is a tank. It's designed for a tank, and I keep saying you can rip the wings off, you can rip the tail off, you can pretty much rip the nose off and take the pilot out, and it'll still fly home. These smaller ships, if you take even one small bit off, say the Buccaneer, you take that engine off, and the Buccaneer is a limping duck. It cannot fight back. It can't track very well. It can't fly in a straight line because it's an asymmetric engine build. So yes, if you're a new player to the Star Citizen and you're going to places like Korea, and someone asks if you want to fight, you can say no. If someone just attacks you for no reason, unfortunately that's part of Star Citizen, and I again go back to the meme that went round, which is the modification of the Terms of Service agreement with CIG. It's modified, it's not an actual Terms of Service, but it did say that PvP, if you sign up to this game, you do consent to PvP. And to a degree, yes, you do consent to PvP. But you only want to do PvP when you want to do PvP. You don't want to be hauling cargo and all of a sudden get into a situation where your ship is blown up for no reason and then you're called a noob or something even worse. I had a situation today where I devolved to a little bit of a trolley child. I was at Area 18. Part of my role for the Damn Shames has now turned into, it's a really nice creative role that they've given me, and I'm greatly appreciative for the fact they have given it to me. If you get the chance, check out Ships Illustrated. It's at Ships Illustrated on Twitter, I believe. It's the content of Damn Shames and a couple of other really good content creators from Star Citizen. So it's screenshots, little tiny stories and various bits and pieces. It's really good. In fact, it was even retweeted by Derek Smart. If you don't know who Derek Smart is, you have been away from Star Citizen for a long time. But yeah, it was retweeted by Derek Smart. So that's the reach that this has. Anyways, part of my role on Ships Illustrated, I'm writing a pulp story. If you're in the UK, it's similar to something called the Penny Dreadfuls. In the American, it's Penny Westerns. 350Rs next to the Gladius. 350Rs are my worst type of ship. Here you have to do the corkscrew because they can launch a pretty devastating frontal assault, and after that, if you don't lock them up quickly, they can become a hellishly difficult thing to shoot, because those guns hurt. If you put the little teeth of an 350R, there we go, I'll get them out eventually, but get in front of the guns of the 350R, especially if they're firing tarantulas at you. Can 350Rs fit tarantulas? I know 350Rs can fit really nasty little guns on them, because I've been at the receiving end of one of them in a PvP match in this thing, and I was holding my own up until I got right in front of him, and then he was able to punch straight through the shield in seconds. It only took a couple of precision shots from him and that was it. Whoa, I am not hitting this guy at all. Come on, Dares, let's do something good, okay? Yes, yes. Why are you calling me a scab when I'm clearly destroying you? There we go. Comm-Array take-up has been quiet today. Anyway, yes, so if you're in the UK, Penny Dreadfuls, in the US, Pulp Westerns. Popular magazine content in the 1870s, 1880s. Really popular round about the time that literacy rates in both countries were increasing phenomenally. So there was this great demand for new reading material. And so it's how stuff like Batman comics started. It's these pulpy detective and crime thrillers. But anyway, I'm writing one of those set in the Star Citizen universe. It's 500 pages, 500 words. 500 pages, gosh, that'd be quite the novel. Yeah, 500 words. every magazine. It's not going to be in the next one. It'll hopefully be in the 3rd issue, and it'll continue thereafter. It's set in the current lore of the game. So we're talking about Huxa, and we're talking about the attempted assassination. I'm really messing up my words today. The attempted assassination of Imperator Costigan. And it all goes into the sort of, the grimy underworld, and I'm trying to get as close to the current version of the lore as possible. And as new lore pieces come out for Star Citizen, I'll hopefully add a few more of those in. So it'll be an evolving story as we know more about the universe that we'll get. Because that's what a real in-lore pulp writer for one of these things would do. Pulp was about commentary, social commentary of the day. And was about providing a message, because it was a mass media. It was designed, we're going to be read by a lot of people, so why wouldn't it contain a message? Anyway, what does this have to do with trolling? Well, I was in Area 18 because I'm trying to research drinks, beverages in a bar, because one part of it will hopefully be set in a bar. So I was trying to look at the menus and the drinks in G-Lock in Area 18. And I was just minding my own business, writing a few things, and a guy rolls up to me in front of me. Now, this is not unusual. I don't think very much of it. People wander up to me all the time and sort of say hello and how are you, and all very nice things. And so I did the emoticon for waving. So my character goes, hey. And then his character does this. So my first reaction is, okay, that's very rude. But my fingers don't say that. My fingers go, congratulations, you have successfully found your middle finger. Now, does your mother know that you're playing a game outside of your age group? Now, he proceeds to get exceedingly butthurt by the entire thing. And I say butthurt because he had the maturity level of about a 5-year-old. Started calling me names. He called me a fuck at one point. Yes, this is an 18 rated stream. I have set the filters, I think, appropriately for watching mature content, so you have been warned. And then the final question he asked me was, why do you have to take it so personally? And I thought that was hilarious, so I write the smiley face emoticon, and I do the smiley face emoticon, and they say, well, it looks like I'm not the one who's taking it personally, and then I just log off. Because, yeah, you get them sometimes. And I'm not a trolley person. I don't go out of the way to upset people unnecessarily, but let's just put it this way: if you walk up to me and I've done nothing to you, and then proceed to be incredibly rude to me, I will school your ass 6 ways to Sunday. But anyway, it was an interesting research session that I found. Also, we got classified ads in Ships Illustrated, and I've been writing a few of those. And I was doing some research because it's a long time since I've read a newspaper or magazine that's had classified ads. I know that they exist. I know that papers in the UK still do them. It's just that Gumtree, eBay, Craigslist, for want of a better word, has taken the necessity out of needing them. I remember in the classifieds and notification section of the Sunday Telegraph many, many years ago, my parents-in-law announced my wedding, but as far as that was concerned, that's the only time that I've had any kind of contact with the classified section. So I had to go and do some research as to what they were. Ooh, someone else has come in. And he's going to be very disappointed because I've turned it on. I hope he's realised, because otherwise he's going to be in trouble. Unless, of course, he's going to... Ooh, someone died. Somebody died. And it wasn't me. It might have been him, but who knows. Unless, of course, it was just a freak spawn. Well, there's nobody here. It could have been a freak spawn that's suddenly triggered. Right, I've been a good boy and turned on all the Comm-Arrays. ICC assistance. Should we do some of the ICC probes? Because there doesn't seem to be anything else going on unless I'm not... I'm definitely in a... Yeah, I'm in an instance that no one's talking on. For that matter of fact, I don't remember seeing anybody at Olisar. Now, I know it's not a connection issue because I've not dropped any frames on my stream. It's still happy days. Oh, there you go. There is someone here. Jans. Or Janos. Or Janus. Or Janos. He's in an F7C and he's probably plastered himself to the bottom because he's seen somebody else appear. I can totally see you right now. Have you been given your mission, Janos? Is that where you're going? Bye bye. I'll see you in the first ICC mission. I can certainly try. Yeah. Sure. I have... Oh wow, where the hell's he going? There we go, that took you a while, didn't it? He's gone to exactly the same location that I've gone to, so he and I will be butting heads momentarily. Yeah, distances are decreasing. There we go. There he is. He's probably now going to panic and go, why is he here? It just means we're going to get 3 extra ads spawning. But yeah, I would, going back to the original point, I would thoroughly recommend, I'll let him get a bit further, I'd thoroughly recommend checking out Ships Illustrated if you got a chance. It is really good. Anyway, yeah, classified ads. So I went on the internet and tried to figure out exactly what a classified ad looked like, and I've remembered that certain classified ads are also known as missed connections. Now, missed connections, for those of you that don't know or are too young to know, are kind of like an ad that's placed in a paper that most people read. Here in the UK, that would most likely be something like the Metro. The Metro is a free newspaper that's given out on trains across the land. You can pick it up from my local station, you can pick it up from any station on the route, anywhere. So it's a paper that a large number of people would see, and it's a short thing about a little tiny paragraph from one person looking for a specific other person, but they don't know their name, and they don't know anything other than what they look like and when they met them. So 9 times out of 10, they're really nice. So for example, I was the gentleman on the train, you were wearing a red outfit with glasses, I spilt coffee on your dress, wanted to call and apologise and offer to pay for dinner or something like that. It would, something innocent, right? He's desperately trying to destroy his little Aurora. No matter what happens, I will trigger another 2 ads, so I think I'm just going to boost for it. Anyway, so I was looking at on classifieds.com, I think it was. There we go, he's destroyed his ad, which now means that I'm going to just kick into gear another set. I think he's trying to figure out whether I'm going to actually approach him or not. Oh, there he goes. Pop, pop. It's sensed me already, so he's now thinking, why the hell have I suddenly been attacked? Right, we need to help him out quite quickly, because the Gladius is nasty by itself, but... If you're not careful, you can get pretty nasty attacks. Right, I'm going to lock in a missile because he can't survive that. Dude, you need to evade, evade, evade. Come on, keep dodging. Keep dodging. There we go. Good boy. I'm coming to your rescue. It's just I need you to dodge. He's currently going in a straight line. That's going to get you killed. So I need you to go zigzaggy away. There we go. Good. Good Janos. Good Janos. Right, head to the objective, buddy. I got you covered. Oh, slight crispy. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, I should be hitting him there. That's easy hit money. What's he firing at him? It's not... Ooh, careful with your fire arc, because you're hitting me with that. I think he's firing the downgraded version of my guns, which are the CF-117 Badgers. I'm firing the CF-227 Panthers. That sounds like a panther. Oh, sorry, Badger, not a panther. Right, okay. Dang it. And it's a 350R. Oh, who's spawned in? Because this is a new person that's spawned in, hasn't it? Or is it? Where's the ICC probe? Because if Janos has got this one sorted, then I can kind of cheat and go straight to the objective. He, I know, can handle one shit by himself. He's managed to survive that much. We'll keep an eye on him, of course. He's got a bit of damage to... Oh, this is a new person. Oh, there's several people here. Wow, yeah, several people. Reliant, Freelancer, and Aurora. How has it not spawned more people? That's the question. And the other question is, are they going to shoot me as soon as I try and collect this thing? If they do, not a problem. I'm not concerned, but they might see another Hornet appearing and start to panic. Certainly I would if I was in a Freelancer and I saw a pair of Hornets flying at me. Now, it's not to say that they may be naff pilots, but they might be pretty damn good FPS players, so I might be in trouble here. Who knows? We will find out. Man, it's hot. How hot is it? It is so hot that Des is perspiring like crazy. But you don't need to know that. Dang it. Curse my bouncy face.
Hey, Jenny, think you could head on back and whip us up a cup of something hot?
Yeah. Ooh.
Got a contact?
Yep.
Multiples.
Multiples?
Let's see what the ridges say. Not coming up. Forget the drink. I need you on shield now!
Hopefully that'll be, well, hopefully not that exact scenario will be a fantastic experience of what we're going to get in 3.1 and beyond. Anyway, going back to my classifieds thing. So I did a couple of bits of research, found classifieds.com and started browsing through some of the adverts. Some of them are insanely funny. For example, what was it? Me, tiger costume, you, chicken mask. We made out in the second stall in the men's bathroom at Hall D. Same time, same place. Next year, I'll be wearing a llama costume. There were some of them really creepy ones, like I accidentally left swiped you on Tinder instead of right swiped you. And I don't know who you are, but I'd like to meet up and have fun. And then there's a really creepy ones, like you served me at Taco Bell at 3 in the morning. Our eyes kept meeting. I want to get to know you better. Stuff like that, but it's all good research, and you get to really see what makes humanity tick. Right, we're doing our usual Monday thing of waiting for the servers to remind Tessa to ping me again with another mission. Because currently, we've got a few more arrays back, but I've already cleared 4 of them, as you can see, so I don't really want to be flying back to more arrays and just clearing them, because that's not fun for you, it's not fun for me, and I might as well be getting some extra cash out of the process. How much fuel have I got? 59%. It's enough for this jump, but not for the next one.
It's coming from these coordinates.
And once again, my nav ball has disappeared. Stress bacon. Here we go. I need someone to make me a t-shirt that says Distress Bacon. If you do, I will wear it to CitizenCon. I will pay for it, of course. If you just give me the design, I'll print it on the t-shirt and pay for it myself. But you know, if someone designs me a Distress Bacon t-shirt, I will be more than glad to wear it at CitizenCon and point people in the direction of where they can contact you. Boom. Right, it's getting ridiculously hot in here. But we persevere. Nobody else here. What happens the majority of the time is players just do the first ICC mission and then just don't realise there's extra ones because they don't hang around. They just go straight back to Port Olisar and go, oh, what am I doing next? So after you get past ICC 3, usually you don't see anybody. Alright, okie dokie, it's an Aurora, it is easy, let us not screw this up. So I'm not going to do my corkscrew because he's kind of got me at a disadvantage here. Because he's squished me against an asteroid. Or I've allowed him to squish me against an asteroid. So, I have to kind of lead the target. There we go. Right, that'll despawn him. Wait for it. There it goes. And Cryastro? Yeah, Cryastro. Ooh. I only just had a shower. I'm going to have another one after this. I'm moving house soon. I'm hopefully moving to a little pod out in the garden. So I don't upset my wife while she's trying to sleep because she sleeps next door. And so after about 8-9 o'clock at night, she works long hours, so after 9 o'clock at night I kind of need to be quiet. It's just common courtesy, but so I should be moving out to the garden, and when I'm in my garden pod, the first things I'm going to be doing is sticking an air conditioning unit in there because I need it. Holy cow, do I need it. I know, that's why I'm here. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Are there any other fantastic observations you want to make about my ship? Frankly, I think it's quite creepy that you're able to work out exactly how much quantum fuel I have anyway. Because it suggests you've hacked into my ship. Ooh, bonk, that was quite heavy. Did not intend that. I got 35 units of repairs. And I'm very slightly slewing across to the left. Gosh, this server is really quiet. I'm really surprised, because yeah, I can still type. You can see the little taskbar right there. So nobody on this server is typing. How bizarre. How very, very, very bizarre. Yeah, what can we do? At least we're having a chat. That's nice. I like it. It works for me. Okay, almost full of quantum fuel, and we're about to move on to our next ICC mission. I've been streaming for an hour, so I will do my usual thing of saying hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Desiccantau. It is my pleasure to be your host for this evening whilst I play through Star Citizen 2.6.3. For those of you that have been watching for the past hour, I thank you very much for watching and do hope you continue to do so. If you do like what you see and want to be kept abreast of when I'm streaming next, I stream every Monday and Wednesday between 8 and 10 PM, and that's the United Kingdom time, 12 till 2 Central, CST. And that is 9 till 11 Central European Standard Time. Beep, 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 beep. It's for... Or bacon. Nah, feel free to start using it. I played this mission far too often, people. But yes, I stream Monday, Wednesday, 8 till 10 PM UK. If you like what you've seen so far and want to watch more of it, Don't forget to hit that follow button. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know how many people are interested. The more people that are interested, the better, because that way I can start to make this stream more about you guys. I have a policy that says I will never serve an ad to you which I gain direct benefit from, because I hate ads as much as the next person does. And I get that content creators rely on ads to a degree to be able to get their stuff out there, and props to them for doing so. But I find adverts annoying as hell. So Twitch will serve you adverts, but I won't. And I will only take money off you if you want to give it to me, and only if it's a reasonable amount. I've had horror stories about people who stream on Twitch who have got well, so let's take for example the buyback. No, sorry, the chargeback issue that's recently been plaguing PayPal and larger Twitch streamers than me. During the stream, people like to give streamers large amounts of cash, and if you know this story, sorry, I'm going to teach Granny to suck eggs for a second, but they give people large amounts of cash because it gives them the hype and it gives them the recognition. It gets a shout out from the streamer, and the streamer feels excellent. Now, some people use that to troll them. And some people do it but can't afford to do it. So at the end of the stream, they'll charge them all back via PayPal. And usually what happened was that PayPal doesn't have a system where it's for a streamer who's reliant on this as their income. They see this as a refund. Well, they saw it as a refund. And so what used to happen was people were charging back several $100s worth of donations at a time, and if you're taking those donations, sometimes people will wait a couple of days so that they're sure you'll spend it before they charge them back. And PayPal, because it treats them as refunds, it penalises the seller, because they think, well, that seller has done a duff deal and we need to punish them for doing a duff deal, and in the hopes that they won't do it again. So they slap them with a charge for the chargeback. So not only does the streamer lose all the money that they've been given, they also get a massive chargeback for it, or a charge for it, which is something like $40. And if you're getting charged back multiple times, then not only are you losing all the money from your charge, you're losing $120 for PayPal chargeback fees. And like I said, some people are nasty about it, and they'll give the streamers a lot of money, wait until they've spent a lot of it out of their accounts, and then charge it all back. So recently that got sorted out. There are other horror stories, and not just from chargebacks, but people who have given a lot of money who then there's this onus from the streamer to go the extra mile for them. And I don't want to give you false promises. I don't want to say, if you give me 50 quid, I will give you a direct line to me. That's not. Some streamers were giving people their phone numbers, their home phone numbers and stuff, and then were surprised when these people were calling them up at 3 in the morning. I want this stream to be about you and me, because I enjoy streaming for you guys. It's what I enjoy doing, otherwise I wouldn't do it. And I'm hoping you guys enjoy the kind of stuff that I do, so that because you've given your free time to come and spend time with me, and thank you very much for doing so. But I'm still searching for ways to doing that. At some point, if I'd like to continue doing this, I will need to find some kind of way of paying for it, or at least making a little bit of revenue off of it, because that way I can upgrade my equipment, and I can buy stuff like Track IR and buy myself some ships. Frankly, I've seen some fantastic ways that people are trying to come up with money, and when I say fantastic, it's kind of like, well, what the hell were you thinking? One of the guys that I follow on Twitter is my ex boss from when I was a writer at purexbox.com. Lovely guy called Ken Barnes. Ken is as honest a man as you can find. So he won't bullshit you, basically. If you want an honest opinion, ask Ken. Because he's been in the business of writing for games journalism for a long time, and he gets developers whining at him when they send him a crappy game and then get confused as to why he gives them a bad grade, which then offsets their Metacritic. But he posted a GoFundMe page from a guy. I can't remember where it was. I don't know who it was. I don't know the person who it was, but he was asking people to basically give him up to $2,000 worth of funding so that he could move house, pay for rent, and then buy stuff to make YouTube videos, because YouTube videos have been my passion and I want to do them for the rest as an income or as a wage. So he completely ignored the fact that YouTube are clamping down quite a bit on the revenue streams that people are getting. Obviously has no idea about how rent works, because it's not just $2,000. This is $2,000 which will disappear on a rental. So, for example, a rental around where I live, it's £600 per month, which is $700 something. So you're talking about 2 months' rent. You're not going to be making enough money on YouTube in 2 months, let alone a year and a half, to pay for that kind of rent. You're not going to be PewDiePie. And so this guy was asking for the moon for nothing. He hadn't provided any evidence that he was going of the stuff he wanted to do. He didn't explain how he was going about doing it. He didn't describe the type of stuff he was doing. He just wanted $2,000. What's the risks? I don't make it on YouTube. 95% of them don't. Not to any significant degree. Yeah, brutal honesty. It's unfortunately it's a necessity, because people do come on here with great ambitions. They plug their Xbox into their internet connection, and they'll load up the Mixer app or the Twitch app, and they'll start streaming to their streaming platform of choice. They won't have Kinect set up. They won't have a webcam. They don't have a microphone. They just play games. And then 2 weeks later give up because they wonder why they're not as famous as PewDiePie. Unrealistic expectations. I have been streaming now, started as in I've been streaming full time now since April, Mondays for about 2 months, and then Wednesdays for the last month and a half. And I have 29 followers. And that's great. I'm playing a niche game that's gone through a content drought. And so everybody that comes along, I value enormously. I'm making no money off Twitch. I'm making no money off anybody else. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. But if you think this is going to be a career for you, you're sadly living in La La Land. You're trying to get me to squish against an asteroid, aren't you, you little cheeky bugger? Oh, come on, Des. That lag pip is flying all over the freaking place. I hope with 3.0 and we get some netcode improvements, that thing isn't as janky. I don't know what the refresh timer is on it, but it's the ship shouldn't be making that kind of jerky pip movements. Unless the guy is doing that. Right, he should despawn. There we go. Recouple. Boost forward so I don't end up slamming into anything. You do. That'll be 2,500 now for UEC. Thank you very much. Am I bitter that I'm about to lose all my alpha UEC? Nah, not really. It's all good fun. Oh, you scumbag asteroid. You scumbag. Give me a clear and then stop me right at the asteroid. I mean, it'd be a good tactic for if you were doing PvP session. You took it to an asteroid field. You could put an asteroid in between yourself and the ICC probe, and then when things were getting a bit hairy and he wanted to reset, just jump back to the ICC probe, get stopped by the asteroid. You don't have to go all the way to the ICC probe and then turn all the way back and come back again.
I heard what happened with that last distress call. Messed up stuff.
Not really. Right, who are you guys? Dr. Oversteer, and he is in a glaive, and Downfall in an Aurora. The Aurora is not going to pose too many problems to me. It's the glaive I'm worried about. The glaive seems to have jumped, so we are fine. Look at that. Everyone is finishing up the repair arrays quickly as anything, and yet still no chat. That is unheard of. I've never been in a session when nobody's talking to anybody else. I mean, I could pop the chat interface up on the screen and post something just to see whether I'm getting it, because it does make me kind of confused as to whether I'm actually getting anything. Right now I'm flying with mouse. Why am I flying with mouse? I've got a HOTAS system in front of me. Dumbass.
Hey,
There we go, Tessa.
just when you start to forget that space can be pretty terrible,
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah, we do.
Help! I need help! Please!
We.
Anybody hurry!
Anybody?
I'm sending you their location.
Sure.
To be honest, by the time you get there, not sure how much good you'll be.
You mean there'll be little...
I just won the best
That's Mr. The Year award. Yeah, you did. And am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going? Ooh, that was close. Almost scraped a wing. Almost. Almost. Right, is this the one where I meant to in fact cancel. I don't want to do that. I want to go to the nearest Cryastro station, which is probably 042, because I'm on 17% of my quantum fuel, which is going to make me very sad if I end up getting stuck out there, because I'm going to have to suicide. Right. And at 7% quantum fuel, we make it to the refuel station. Remember, kids, always refuel. In fact, if you're playing the alpha, it's a good habit to get into of refueling your station, your ship, and repairing it. Because in 3.0, damage persists. And what that means is if you get damaged... No, not true. Well, yeah, if you got the chance. But yeah, in 3.0, so if you check out the mission schedule, if you check out the schedule report, so search Star Citizen schedule, you will see that they have started to, they've implemented the code to allow damage to persist and missiles to persist and ammunition count to persist. So if you log out of a game session, you've expended all of your ballistic ammunition, your ship's lost 2 wings, and you're pretty much flying on just a stick, then you log back into the game, you will no longer get a brand new ship. Your ship will respawn in exactly the same condition as you left it. So don't expect to do the stuff like on Port Olisar anymore. In fact, we won't even respawn at Port Olisar. If you didn't land back there and log out there, you will not spawn back at Port Olisar or Grimhex or Levski or anywhere on Delma. You will just spawn where you stopped your ship. Of course, you should get the penalty timer if you're spawning out anywhere other than a space station or on a landing zone, because so your ship will persist on the surface for a set period of time. Otherwise, you'll just get people combat logging on a regular basis, which isn't good. I love how B is my go-to button for. Ooh, the lag. She is with me. Someone's got some natty ping. Yeah, there's a meme currently going out there with that screenshotted with a I think it's either a squirrel or a chipmunk with its arm outstretched and with its mouth wide open, with someone's written "no" across the top. So yeah, missiles are going to be deadly and they will damage your ship and you will need to repair it. So if you're just popping into Star Citizen, flying around, losing your ship, and then respawning a new one at Olisar after you've suicided, I'd thoroughly recommend getting used to landing up Cryastro and getting repair, because you will need to fix up your ship. Nobody's going to do it for you. You will have to do it yourself. It'll come as a nasty shock when you don't know how to do it. Not saying that what we've just done is going to be the final implementation of the mechanics in the game. It's most likely not, but for the moment it's what we got. Now, as Distress Bacon is down there.
Mayday! Mayday! We're under attack. Please help.
Would do, but bogey. There we go. You can't sound menacing when you're flying an Aurora. Seriously. You're about as threatening as the Easter Bunny. I can't believe that the Aurora has the possibility of destroying that ship. 9 times out, well, actually all of the times, the ship that's currently in trouble is a Constellation. And it is a Constellation. Ooh, and I'm flying backwards.
It was appreciated.
So yeah, Aurora can destroy a Constellation. I'm quite impressed by that. But there we go. Whew. I love that redshift. Look at Stanton. It's just Crusader. It's just gone off the right hand side of the screen. If you're on YouTube, and I will be uploading this to YouTube pretty much straight away after I finish, I'll download it and then re-upload it after I've edited out the introduction section. Who are you? Griffin. This reminds me of that Family Guy episode. What's your name? P. Tier Griffin. Peter Griffin. Yeah, damn it. And I was wrong. It's not a P315. It's a Reliant. That's doing decouple training around the upper ring. Who knows? I want to be able to land at the ICC probe. It's big enough to be able to land at. I wonder if the ICC probe is going to be movable in the final game. Because it seems a bit of a cop-out that they give us this massive procedural generated world, and then this is just a box, a floating box you can't go into. Because you can see lights, you can see offices, homes and businesses and everything in these little tiny modules strapped to the side. So I wouldn't say this is a probe. I'd say this is a research station. It's big enough to be a station. In fact, it's as big as Port Olisar, I would say, or at least it's only slightly smaller than Port Olisar.
Hey, got something for you.
And there's large sections of Port Olisar we're not allowed to go into.
2 words.
Distress Bacon.
Beacon. Distress beacon. Sorry, I didn't have breakfast.
Neither did I.
Just
Actually, thinking about it, I did a silly this morning. I've not been sleeping very well because of the heat. So I got up with my wife, because I like spending time with her in the morning before she goes to work. Got up with my wife, wandered downstairs, had breakfast with her, saw her off to work, because I work from home these days. Wandered back upstairs, and I thought to myself, I'll get an extra 30 minutes of Ziz, because my head hurts, and I only got to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning. So waking up at 6, I've only had 5 hours of sleep, which is quite a lot when you think about it, but not really at the same time. So I climbed back into bed, and I have a pair of cats, and one of my cats came up and sat with me, and flicking through the news, and I quickly nodded off to bedtime. And I swear I'd set an alarm to go off at 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I'd be up and ready. I'd have my breakfast, I'd have my coffee, ready to start working at 9. And next thing I know, it's 11:30 in the morning, and I've completely slept through the alarm, mainly because the cat. I wondered why I'd missed the alarm. I checked to see whether I set it, and I had. Turns out the cat's arse was covering the speaker, because I'd fallen asleep and I'd left it on the bed, and the cat had sat right on top of it. So the ringing and the vibrating were completely lost. He loved it. He was loving the ringing and the vibrating. Don't quite know why. And before you start turning that pervy, you disgusting people, I know you. Filthy minds. That's what you've got. Filthy minds. Yeah, his mass had expanded over the top of it and hidden the vibration and the sound. So I'd missed it completely.
If you know what's good for you, you'll stay out.
So I slept another 2-3 hours. So I got 8 hours sleep eventually, but all my morning suddenly disappeared. I'm just going to follow this guy through this asteroid. I hate this one because it's so fiddly. The slightest mistake and we'll see you smack straight into an asteroid. I have seen gladiuses come at me as hard as they possibly can and smack straight into an asteroid. And this is the NPC, the guys that should know how to fly this. And if you can fly it in decoupled mode, then do so, because it'll help you out enormously. Just be careful. And recouple as soon as the flight's over, because it will come and bite you in the ass. Now this is the one I have to pull back into. Where is it? Ooh, too fast. Lumpy. Because I lose all sense of where I was pointing. There it is. And without track IR and being able to do that, I do it. Your cat is kinky. Hi, Suki. Cat is kinky. See, I knew somebody was going to go there. I knew somebody was going to go there. My cat is not kinky. My cat just likes... He thought it was attention. He thought it was fuss. Was what he thought. So he was loving the belly scratch. And because he's a bit of a chunky porker, we're trying to get him to lose weight. We are trying. Have you ever tried trying to get a cat to lose weight? It's next to impossible. Because they'll scream at you until 3 o'clock in the morning. We've taken to putting them to bed downstairs, because it got to the point where we would... Because he's an indoor cat, we can't sleep with the windows open with him around, otherwise he'll just escape. He's got no street smarts whatsoever. He came to us as sort of a 9-year-old indoor cat, so we can't... It's not fair to set him outside without that kind of street smart training. So we closed the bedroom door, and he would just sit outside the bedroom door at sort of 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd have his good nights. Sometimes he'd go till about 4, and he'd have his bad nights where he'd go to about 1. But from that period onwards, he would scream the place down. And he has... It's not this quiet mewling noise that a lot of cats have. This is full-on guttural wailing. So much so that you can hear the stress in his voice. And... yeah, so we've taken to shutting them downstairs, both of them downstairs at night. So he still wails. It's just that we can't hear him as well, so we get a better sleep. Our cat has long hair and he's orange. He's an asshole, so he doesn't let us brush him. So we get our revenge by shaving him during the summer. Oh dear. My cat is an arsehole, but I get my revenge. We'd love to get our revenge on our cat, but he doesn't understand what we're doing, why we're doing it. He doesn't understand why we're shutting him away or restricting his food. He doesn't understand that he's seriously overweight, and that cats of his breed tend to have overweight issues, such as diabetes and, to a certain extent, osteoporosis. Yeah, long-haired cat. We've never had a long-haired cat, but I've seen stuff, things like Persians before. I can imagine, it can get matted and coarse and disgusting. Up until recently, because we've got a lilac Burmese and we've got a Moggy cross.
Hey there, stranger. Not to sound mysterious. On my scanner.
Also, I know what you mean by cat screaming. Our cat screams and it's so annoying, so I scream back at him. We've tried that. It doesn't work. He just screams back at us again, and it turns into this never-ending cycle of cat screaming, then human screaming, then cat screaming, then human screaming, then cat screaming, then human screaming. And I live in in terraced housing, and we're trying to be nice to the neighbours because the walls are quite thick, but still his house is right there, so I need to be quiet. And so over the weekend we're going wow, 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 wow. Just doesn't work. Why did I go to Cryastro? How much fuel have I got? 37%. Thank you, Brain. See, Brain on autopilot does some things right. But yeah, our Burmese is fine. He molts over the summer, but his hair is short enough that even if he licks himself, they just pass straight through him. Our Moggy, on the other hand, she's only just started this in earnest, but she started chucking up hairballs like there's no tomorrow. So we've had to start giving her food, but neither my wife nor I knew what a hairball was up until that point. My wife had only owned Burmeses up to that point, and I'd never had an animal like that before. I was always up until that point I'd owned 2 hamsters and 2 rats. Never a cat. And so when I left for university, my parents picked up a pair of Burmeses as well. So I've only had experience of Burmeses as well. So when we got our Moggy cat, and that's a story in and of itself. When we got our Moggy cat, she had short enough hair when she was young that when she licked it just went straight through her. But now she started bringing up hairballs, and we'd never seen a hairball before. So we freaked out when we saw this hairball. We're feeding her special food now, and she's completely stopped chucking them up, which is nice. But our cat is mixed breed, but he has long hair for some reason. I do like mixed breed cats. Don't get me wrong. I do like mixed breed cats. Our Moggy's a mixed breed, and she is lovely temperament. Everyone is so surprised. I was surprised when we got her. In fact, I'll do the story of how she came to be with us. So we moved into this house 3 years ago now, and the summer of the following year, we came back from work to discover a small little furry creature sitting on our porch. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know who she was. All we knew was there was a cat sitting on our porch, and she came up to us and was stick thin with ribs like there's no tomorrow. You could have played a xylophone on them. She was very friendly, but we started to learn the reason why she was being friendly, because she was not being fed at home. She would constantly escape from home and then have this nomadic lifestyle within the neighborhood, sleeping on different people's houses. But she'd make it a rule that she would never go over the road. She would never go between houses where people could see her. She'd always skirt around the outside. So she'd come up to someone's door and they would feed her cat food, even though you're really not supposed to do it, because cats will imprint on you. She was being fed cat food from different people. So she was getting kitten food, adult food, wet food, dry food. She didn't know where she was coming from. And so eventually it got to this point where we'd been watching her for 3 weeks and she'd not gone home, or at least we didn't know she'd gone home. So we printed off, because we got in the UK we have the Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the RSPCA. The RSPCA has a website that has a whole bunch of tips about cats that you think are strays, including a printable collar. So we printed out the collar, cut it out, wrote our details on it, saying, if this cat is yours, can you just please let us know? Attached it to her neck after feeding her some treats, and then set her off. And then the owner contacted us via a neighbour who said that she's the runt of a litter, but she always escapes, and he wants to keep. Well, he's been trying to keep her in the house by locking her in an upstairs bedroom, but that doesn't work. What happens is that she disappears for about a period of a month, and then suddenly reappears with a collar around her neck, which she then subsequently loses, and then goes back to doing the nomadic thing. So she obviously doesn't want to go home. So back via the neighbour, who's this man in the middle, again, I say, this is obviously not working. Do you want us to take her off your hands and give her, hopefully give her the life that she wants, or she'd be happy with? And this is during the Destiny beta, and I remember it well because I was playing the beta, so it was June 2014. And what have I done? Yeah, it was June 2014. I got a knock on the door, and my wife went to go answer it, and she came back into the room. I was downstairs in the living room playing Destiny with a couple of friends, and she tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Paul, there's a guy at the door." And I say, "Okay," and she says, he's here about the cat." So I go to the door, and on my way to the door, it's not very far to go from the TV to the door, but all the way I'm going, I'm thinking, my goodness, I'm going to get punched in the face now, aren't I? But no, the guy's very understanding. He's brought his son along, and he says, yeah, if you want to take her off our hands, then by all means. She just doesn't want to seem to stay with us. And that was that. We opened the door to her, and she came in, sat with my wife for the entirety of the rest of the evening. And we didn't have any cat supplies at all. It was just completely out of the blue that suddenly she was our cat. So we didn't have any litter trays, cat beds, feeding bowls, or anything. My wife stayed up with her until 3 in the morning, just in case she needed to go outside to go to the toilet. Right, okay, sorry, I've been rambling on about my own story, and I'm not paying any attention to chat. His tail is so bushy and fluffy, it's unbelievable. They do have very bushy tails, don't they? Very bushy tails. But lovely tails, nonetheless. You could use them as behind the radiators, cleaning behind the radiators. I mean, good luck with that, but it's a possibility. Stop blinking and let me fire. Right, and the next one is the reason why some homeless cats come to houses because they feel like they belong in houses. Yeah. So that's what she was doing. Was she was getting fed at different houses, and she felt that the entire neighbourhood was her home. But what she really wanted to do was go in. So when we opened the door, she came straight in and jumped straight up onto my wife's lap and stayed there for the rest of the night. It was absolutely incredible. She knew exactly where she wanted to be, and she knew exactly what she wanted, and we haven't been able to get rid of her since. So we called her Tally, because I'm big into Mass Effect. I was super disappointed by Andromeda, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. But Tally Zora Naraya is one of the characters in the original Mass Effect trilogy, and so we called her Tally, because she's very inquisitive, and she's on a pilgrimage from her home.
Hey!
I'm a nerd, okay? I like Star Citizen. I'm a nerd. Right, how long have we got? Oh my goodness me, gosh. Time flies when you're having fun. Right, this is the Donnie one, isn't it? This is Donnie. This is ICC 7. Cheers, good advice. Right, it's not updated. Oh, it has. There we go. Yeah. So she had a bit of a rough start in life, because all those foods were all shades of different. She had all sorts of wonderful tummy problems. Which I affectionately refer to as the Ketchup Chronicles, for reasons that I won't go into unless you absolutely want me to, because the details are quite gory. But suffice to say, it was a pretty unpleasant time for her, and she's not been the same since. But there you go. I've always felt bad about taking her away from her other family. We got about a year and a bit ago now. We've had her for about 2.5 years now. A year and a bit ago, I received a letter through the front door from the original family asking us to send some updates and pictures because they miss her. And I felt really bad because we have basically nicked a cat off somebody else. But the fact is that she didn't want to stay with them, and we've given her a life that we think she really enjoys. We hope she really enjoys. And I like cats. Don't get me wrong. I love cats, but I'm more of a dog person. Always has been, always will. I'm a dog person. My aunt and uncle had a black Labrador for a number of years. And he was the sweetest, funniest creature you could ever meet. Always full of energy. Always full of energy until the end. Lovely little boy. So I think the next animal that we get is going to be it's either going to be a Labrador or a Husky. My wife wants to say Dachshund. A wiener dog in America. But I just don't understand the appeal. They're small, you can step on them. It's do right by me, Donny. Do right by me. Okay. Ooh, Labrador Husky mix. Oh, we've seen pictures of those on the internet. They're really squee worthy. If I could get a Labrador Husky mix, I would. Right, I need to back around, do a quick twist and burn, and then fire, because I need to get out of here toot sweet before the Vandal comes and shoots me in the bum. Don't tell the real Vandals, I try and run away from them. Derpy dogs are the best kind of dogs. Regular dogs don't get the kind of footage they get on YouTube. It's always about the derpy dogs. Yeah, they do. You need to walk them a lot. You need to pay a lot of attention to them. You need to have them with you a lot of the day. So I'm quite glad that hopefully my future job, or the next job I'm looking into, is going to be more of a desk job, and hopefully they'll be okay with maybe me taking the dog to work. More and more places are okay with doing that these days, so it might be a possibility. But yeah, I'm definitely more of a dog person. It's because dogs give you stuff that cats don't. I once read somewhere that cats, if you and it's a bit morbid, if you suddenly died, think about that for a second. If you suddenly died, a dog would stay with you and protect you as one of his own, as if you were still alive. The cat would, if it was locked in with you, would eat you within a matter of seconds. Get a corgi. Oh, I see. Is it because I'm British? Not everyone owns corgis. No, I'm joking. I do like corgis, but it's something about the wreckage. It's not about the wreckage. This is about the wreckage, but again, it's a small dog. I like bigger dogs. I like tall dogs. I'm not looking for a bloodhound, but I'm looking for, husky, Alsatian, Labrador kind of size. Something that you can cuddle. A big fluffy squudge. Right, what am I doing? Where's my marker buggered off to? I did activate the mission, didn't I? Yeah, I did activate the mission. Where's it gone? Hello? Oh, there you go, strange signal. It's the big dog. Yeah, big dogs. I really want a big dog. I thought about getting a corgi, but not corgi. Collie dog. But collies are massive amounts of work. They are very excitable and very intelligent relative to dogs. Other dogs, they're very intelligent creatures. I just don't have the time to do that much with a corgi. I'm after a big dog that's a bit lazy. Yes, huskies are also big on the energy thing. One of my family friends, one of the friends of my wife's family. I just need to do a quick check here to see whether there's anybody else here. No, it's just 2 missed staff errors. That's cool. One of the friends of my family, my wife's family, has a greyhound, an ex-racing greyhound. Usually what happens is when greyhounds are finished on the track, a lot of them will just be put down within a couple of days of them being retired. What kind of retirement is that for them? So lots of people take them on and into rescue shelters, and then put them up for adoption. And so my family friends have got one called Average Joe. And surprisingly enough, for a big dog, and for an ex-racing dog, he is the biggest couch potato you ever did see. He just lounges on the bed all day, or on the sofa while someone watches TV. They say that greyhounds, ex-racing greyhounds, are the perfect dog for people that don't necessarily work all day or don't go away from the office, because of course with a dog you can't leave too long. You can't go off on massive holidays without your dog, and you can't work all day and only see your pet for 30 minutes a night. But greyhounds are more resistant than other types of dog to that kind of relationship. So, I mean, yeah, why can't I... Hashtag it's an alpha. I have got this mission, and I'm in the right area. Why is it not rendering me the... Ooh, that was never there before. Come on, I've got the mission activated. Yeah. Oh, how bizarre! I swear it sent me here. What's it telling me to do now then? Nope. Okay, I think it's broken. Let's get out of here, because it's not working, and I don't think I really want to try and fiddle around resetting it. So we're going to have to give up on the FPS mission. For the ICC missions, we'll go to Covalex instead, because that's always a good giggle. We got 20 minutes of the stream, and that seems to be a very good way to round out the evening. Is a little jaunt through Covalex. It's got as much, if not more, peril than the Starfarers do, because the Starfarer corpses, a lot of people don't manage to make it all the way to ICC 8. Their connection either lags out or they just give up. So I'm not too worried about meeting people at ICC 8, but Covalex, that's a different kettle of fish. People can get to Covalex easily. If it doesn't work, punch it. It's not how technology works. That's how I got into trouble with my GPU. I get a bit salty when I play FPS games or stuff which has competitive edge. Ooh, wow. The teleport, it would put the TARDIS to shame, that would. Yeah, I get super salty when it comes to competitive games that I know I should be good at, but fail epically at. And so what usually happens during those times is when I get a bit salty and I punch the desk, or I hit the desk. Used to be when I was younger. When I was younger, it used to be that that I would throw my controller across the room or slam a door or something like that. All really desirable behaviour in a teenager. But that's carried over to some degree. So if I get really worked up and really stressed, I hit the desk. I physically pound the desk. And surprisingly enough, full GTX 1080 graphics cards weigh quite a lot. And when you've got your motherboard in vertical alignment with the graphics card hanging out of a little tiny PCI slot and held in by one little screw at the top of the back, any slight vibrations of the whole desk area will cause the card to wobble. And so what happened was I would... Ooh, I've got an Avenger Stalker here. Which means there's a person in here. Which means I'm going to get shot. Good times, free grog. Never mind. We'll continue our story, and if I get shot, then that's me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to push it out of his way, because I don't want him to instantly find it. He will no doubt try and find it himself and end up shooting me out the sky. But until that time, I'm going to just wedge it under here. It puts me out of harm's way and doesn't immediately make me obvious. But yeah, so the graphics card is quite heavy. It sits in a little PCI slot on the motherboard, and then it's held by a screw. And the vibrations of the desk will cause the card to wobble. So eventually, over time, it successfully wobbled itself free of the of the back plate, and so every time I knocked into the desk, the card would wobble, and the connection to my monitors would cut out. And when the connection to my monitors cut out, the computer then disconnected the graphics card. And disconnected graphics card caused the motherboard to go, oh my god, how am I outputting video now? Because I've now got to swap all my settings over, and it used to crash the system. So invariably, I would play a high-intensity game such as Star Citizen. The fans would overwork on the graphics card. It would start vibrating, and then it would disconnect. And so over time, me banging on the desk would cause this thing to disconnect. Ooh, hello. Ooh, what was that? What's the last thing that went through your head when you were about to die? My ass. Now, I could be completely naive here and just drift all the way through Covalex with no weapon raised. The alternative, of course, is to take my Devastator shotgun out and just plug that guy when he walks around the corner. I mean, hello? Hello?
This station is currently off
Oh,
limits.
oh, there he is.
Please
Hello.
vacate the area.
I'm friendly, 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 friendly. It's just me. It's just me. Yeah, I'm here. I'm friendly. Thank you. I don't want to shoot him in the face because that will just get me a crime stat, and I just can't be asked to go to Korea and clear it. That's just too much effort on my part. I'm a lazy guy. Oh, he's left his ammo holster. Have fun, dude. Right. Now he's probably gone and trying to find where the ship that I came in on. He's going to nick it because he's got an Aurora. Oh, sorry, an Avenger. And he's going to go, ooh, I've always wanted to fly a Hornet, but I've never got the opportunity to. So he's going to take that. But that's cool. I'm quite happy to fly back in an Aurora. And chances are that I won't make it back to my ship at all because I'll get stuck in this room after I've finished. So yeah, the graphics card wobbled, disconnected, almost killed the computer 6 or 7 times, and I only worked out what it was when I accidentally knocked into the desk one day and figured it out. And this was after I'd called up Amazon and had a massive rage at them for the fact they supplied me a faulty card. But they were very nice about it, and they sent me a replacement card, so I've managed to register that one for the warranty, which I didn't do with the other one, which was a bit silly.
Where the hell have you been? Your shift started 3 hours ago.
And yeah, so now I've got a nice clean graphics card. Oopsie, I'm in the wrong section. This is the mess hall. There we go. This is the intake valve. Now this is the point in the of Covalex Shipping Hub where you've touched those 2 data pads. You can quite happily go and upload this. But to complete the mission to get the good ending, you need to fly in here, right to the back, and then flip over, and then here's the next data pad. It's hidden behind here, so only if you're going to look for it, does it become obvious. Yep, he's nicked my Hornet. That was my Hornet firing up. So he's gone looking all the way around the station to try and find which ship I came in on. Oh, that makes me sad. I'm going to have to fly an Aurora. He could do the really dicky move now of destroying his Avenger, which would mean I have no ship to fly back on. But it could give us some emergent gameplay. We could try and find someone who's willing to give us a ride, which would be nice. That'd be good. That'd be good. So maybe if he does destroy it, we'll call for help. Because that's a fun way to end the show. Is a tow back to Olisar. Either that or he's going to be nice, or he's going to be one of these people like in the last stream where I started to get back into my ship and the guy panicked and just unloaded everything into me when I was unshielded. Right, go in here. Reach the thing. Yay, got it. Yeah, I think he's attacking his own ship. Wait for the boom.
I set the routine to bypass the monitoring protocols at 1400. The crates should go through, no problem.
Go on,
Just
destroy it.
drop, all right? By the way, had to change over the security stuff. Codes attached.
Either that or he's gonna blast me out of the airlock when I approach. There he goes. Boom. Oh, you massive troll. Are you gonna let me do it? Standby initiated. It seems that everything's glitching today. 31D does not seem to want to initiate, although I seem to be getting constant audio entries, which makes no sense either. That or it's waiting for the audio entries to clear. No, I think we've hit a glitch. And there he goes. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there goes my Anvil Hornet. And his Avenger is dead. And there goes my Hornet. Covalex to Olissa? Question mark? Because I kind of want to go back home. And the chat does seem to be working. So it's not the fact that I'm here that's causing the problem, or it's not the fact that I'm disconnected from the server that seems to be causing the problem. It's definitely a thing. So we'll hang out here and see whether anyone picks up. Unless, of course, it's yeah. Well, he can't pick me up in the Hornet because the Hornet's a single seater. Unfortunately, I haven't got the Super Hornet variety. Otherwise, we could have shared. But that's the kind of... He's not a very nice player. Let's just put it that way. He's probably thinking to himself, "Ooh, excellent! I've now got a Hornet that I can play around with," and he's just going to get himself killed in it because it's not his ship. I'm quite surprised he didn't get a wanted level, but there you go. Now, why is this not working? No, that's not what I'm after. I've completely forgotten all the bindings to change channel, but it might be that I'm on the wrong channel. I'm in a party channel or a channel other than that. No. Senor Superman no here. I don't think this is going to work somehow. Oh dear. And I was going to do my end of Wednesday stream thing, which is blowing my ship up, but obviously he's going to do that for me. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to suicide. And as my body ragdolls onto an invisible wall. Ooh, in a very uncompromising position. Now, the lag and the server glitches do not fill me with confidence that I'm going to get anything other than a black screen of death for the next 5 minutes. So it might be that this is where the stream ends. Yeah, no, exactly. It's wonderful gravity. They say they've got ragdoll physics in this, but sometimes it goes a bit funny. Oh, there we go. So I'm not going to be salty in chat because being salty in chat just gets other people to be salty at you. What I will do, however, is yank the Hornet F7C out from underneath him because that's always funny. Because that's my Hornet F7C. The game has registered that as my F7C. It's attached to me. It doesn't matter if someone else is flying it. I can pull it back out. It's only if he destroys it then I have to pay for it and it loses its ident. So I can do the really nasty thing here of causing his game to crash. He's still there. And now he doesn't have it anymore. And there it is. Boom! My Hornet was there, and now it's there. And his game has crashed, and he's kicked him back to the main menu because he's an asshole. And he nicked my ship and destroyed his. Hey, if he wants to troll me, I will troll him back twice as hard. I refer you back to the incident I had today at Area 18, where a guy flipped me the middle finger. That's the Starship equivalent of flipping me the middle finger when you nick my ship and destroy your own. And I do say that if you do that to me on Star Citizen, I will school your ass back twice as hard. So he now doesn't have a Hornet F7C anymore. He's just floating around in space, or his game's crashed and it's sent him back to the main menu. At least he could have done me the common courtesy of leaving me the Avenger. If you want to fly around in a I could have destroyed the Avenger. Let's just put it that way. I could have destroyed the Avenger, and then he would have had a reason to nick the Hornet F7C because I've denied him his only method of transport. He could have taken the F7C because he didn't know what an F7C was, and he could have enjoyed himself flying an F7C because all he's got is an Avenger and he doesn't know what to do with it. That's all fair and good as well. But it's when you nick my ship and destroy yours out of spite that I have to take drastic action. Wasn't very nice, especially seeing as I didn't shoot at him. I was completely unarmed. Etiquette, people, etiquette. If you give me a reason to shoot at you, I will. But until that time, I will treat you as friendly until you act in a hostile manner. Yeah, the only problem is that now I've nicked my F7C, I can't go and find him and shoot him. And even if I didn't respawn my F7C, I don't have a ship that's capable of taking one on. The only other ship that I have, which is flyable today, well, the only other ship that will be able to go and meet him is either an Aurora MR, which would get ripped to shreds by what I've got stuffed to this thing if he was competent enough to work out how to use them, or a Constellation Andromeda. And following him around in a Constellation Andromeda is just going to get me killed if I'm not careful anyway. Had I had another F7C or a Super Hornet or a Hornet Ghost or something like that, I would have been quite happy just to nick all of his guns off of it using my item pullback system and just go find him and school him. But the game currently doesn't let me do anything other than respawn my Hornet and nick it off of him and crash his game. And there goes my cat. You can probably hear him in the background. I do try to keep him isolated downstairs, but he does sneak around behind the door, and he's quicker than we can shut the door on him, so he does get out, and that's the kind of scream he has. He caterwauls. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Right, one more Comm-Array, and I think we are good to go. 472. Restore uplink. It's on the other side of not Covalex, it's the other side of Stanton. Not Stanton, Crusader. Stanton's the system, Crusader's the gas giant, Covalex is the place on the other side of Crusader. It doesn't get confusing, honest. Right, and roll around, and Comm-Array. Fight the cat. Believe me, I've been fighting the cat for many years now. I've given up fighting it. I just lock him in various rooms, and when it's inconvenient for me. Oh, he's a buck. He can handle himself. He's a buccaneer. I'm going to despawn because he can handle himself. If he's got a buccaneer, he's paid a lot of money for one. So he's a big boy. Yeah, I've tried fighting the cat. It doesn't work. I'm really surprised by the chat. Because nobody's talking. Nobody is talking, which is disappointing. Because usually you get some really nice conversations going, especially round now when you've got 3.0 coming out the door. I would go to the strange signal, but for a start it's not rendering Yela, which is kind of weird. Because that's where Yela should be. And it's not rendering Yela. No, I think I've run out of things to do. Unless, of course, you've got anything dying that you want to see in the next 2 minutes. I think I'm going to start my my wind down. So the traditional way of ending Wednesday streams is to epically destroy the ship. So we're going to do that now. There we go. So activated, and we're going to destroy it in a fantastic fashion. I'm not going to eject, so this is going to be boom, boom. Boom! There it goes. As soon as the insurance system kicks in, I'm going to have to find another way of ending my stream. Because I can't afford to do that if I keep doing it. and we will respawn at Port Olisar again, in amongst the last night's remains of Big Benny's noodles. And if you get the chance and you are watching, don't forget to check out Ships Illustrated. There's a wonderful recipe in there for Big Benny's noodles, which I will be trying tomorrow night, because I've got noodles and I've got everything else that the recipe needs, so it's just a question of me getting onto and cooking it. And I will be posting it to Twitter. I'm just wondering, because if in case, well, I know Suki is in here because she's a fellow shame. You know that the Damn Shames do shames in the kitchen. We do a shames in the kitchen where we make the recipes. I mean, that's a cool idea. Right, okay, and as let's run to the window and gaze outside. And as we come to the end of our stream and we gaze out upon the twisting clouds of Crusader, it is unfortunately time to end the stream. So I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in today. It's been great to be your host. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that follow button. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you're interested in the channel, and lets me know that you want to see more. It also lets you be informed when I'm streaming live. Now, I stream live every Monday and Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. But if you hit that little heart button after you click the follow button, you will get push notifications on your phone if you enable them when I go live. So you'll always be up to date for when I go live. If you want to know about that, about my work with the Damn Shames, about work that the Damn Shames do, if you want to work out my schedule or want to be kept informed of any times that I'm not streaming, I will be posting them on Twitch, but I will also send them out as tweets. So check out my Twitter link, it's right there. Until the next time, which will be next Monday, don't forget there's been another update to the Star Citizen YouTube channel. It's got a new Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy out today. Tomorrow it's ATV, and I think the ATV is in LA. Don't quote me on that. I think it's LA, or is it Frankfurt? It's either LA or Frankfurt. I know the rotation. No happy hour this week, so that'll be off until next week. And then until the rest of it, I don't think there's anything else I need to report. So I will end the stream there. Greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you for taking the time to check me out, and I will get this up on YouTube quickly as possible. Until then, I will see you in the verse. Bye!